like on taking CBD as a supplement. You know, the cannabis oil. Have you used it?
Yeah, I actually, I'm a big fan of this one company, and they kind of sponsored me since. But I was only a fan because they're it tastes delicious. Most CBD I get tastes like crap, or it just has like oily film. But it's this company out of California called CBD You and Me.
Yeah.
And they have all different types of products, and they just sent me a bunch. And I feel like a lot of times I've had CBD and felt no better, like no benefits. It makes me feel like I'm maybe buying crap, you know. But that particular company, I really think is great. I use it constantly, and I get benefits from it. But like if you're really hurt, it's not going to help, you know. If it all day kind of average body aches, I have a lot of arthritis. I think it's great because I don't want to I try to avoid taking any pain medicine anymore. Yeah. You know, because this sport, once you start taking pain medicine, I feel like you're always going to realize you can use it, you know, because we're always hurt.
Yeah, and it'll catch up with you. That one day that you miss taking it, you're out. I really like it, and I don't know if it works or not. And some of it does make you smell like Eddie Bravo's armpit. You know, they can make it taste a little bit better. But as I said, I don't know if it's a placebo or not. But I'm going to stick with it. As long if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, if you don't mind me asking, this will be one of the last questions I'm going to ask you. I read. I hope I'm getting this right. Is it Bechet's disease?
Bechet.
Jet.
I don't know. It's a Turkish name, so it's not like it's a strange name. Very strange. It's a strange disease.
And so you explain to the guys who are watching, right? What is it? How did it manifest itself? And what was the after effects?
It's a horrible disease. It's an ugly disease. It's an autoimmune disease in which it's vascular. So it's kind of like your immune system is too strong. But what it does is my immune system will target certain areas on my body and just destroy it. And because it doesn't recognize it necessarily as my body. So it's an inflammation disease. So the reason why I'm blind in one eye and deaf in one ear. I was blind in both eyes for a little bit. They were able to save my right eye before it got bad. But like, you ever have a canker sore?
Yeah.
All right. I used to get like 80 something at once.
Wow.
And I didn't screw up. It's something that is in your genes. It can be turned on, but they're not quite sure. They can't find a rhyme or reason why some people have it and other people don't. They think it's trauma at a young age, but they're not sure because in Turkey and like say Japan as well, it's one of the leading causes of blindness. And in our country, it's very rare, and that's the problem. Is there's no good treatments for it because there's not enough money to be made in it. Yeah. So, like the drugs that I have to take. I take like some drugs that are just like a broadsword that kind of weaken my immune system, but then I can't fight off infections. Yeah. So if I get like staph, I'm in every time I've gotten staph or cellulitis, I've been hospitalized for a minimum of 5 days. I just can't fight it. But if I don't take it, I'll be blind as a bat. It's like it's going to happen. So I'm not in the right field for a guy with Behcet's. Most people with Behcet's are very simple, safe lives to live out of, so they don't have a lot of symptoms. Whereas for me, I kind of take the extra medication and run the risk so I can feel a little better and try to do the lifestyle I choose. But you're going to suffer. It's an ugly disease, and it's kind of neat is that people write me from all over the country and even the world. I have a lot of people, even Australia or Germany, that will write me. They have the disease, and when I talk to them, they're so close to killing themselves. It's not even funny. And it's because the knowledge on correct treatment and good treatment isn't really out there yet. And I feel bad because it was my 5th doctor, and I jumped around that actually knew what to do. And the medication they were putting me on were for old people. Like it's almost It's just tough. You ever heard the drug Remicade? It's for osteoarthritis.
No.
Okay, it's an IV drug. I had to take that for every 6 weeks. I'd have to go get an infusion of it. Now I do a Humira shot. But it's tough to balance because I don't know when I'm going to feel good and when I'm going to feel bad. So when it causes arthritis pain, it's just an ugly disease. And I'm sure if I retire and take it easy, it will calm down. But, you know, if I did that, I don't know who I'd be anymore. I'd rather suffer and live the life I want to live than to let it control me. And but, you know, it's similar to lupus. A lot of people have lupus, so it's in the same bracket, I guess. But it's a very tough disease. And I'm willing to talk to anybody or anyone that wants to reach out. I've been there too. It's a hopeless feeling. You're not alone. There's treatments out there. And if people are watching this and they have to know someone like that, I mean, it can kill you. It's a serious issue. And I didn't screw up. I was, you know what, how it turned on? When I was an air marshal, I was jet lagged every day of my life, you know, because you're in different time zone every day. And it was that, out of all the things I've ever done in my life, that triggered the disease. So I was in the military for 7 years, no triggers, no problems. But being jet lagged, tired, it triggers it. So traveling is very hard on me. I would say it's the most challenging, traveling. If I travel, I know I'm going to get sick. But I still got to travel. So it's just part of the game.
Yeah, you know, people will say cliches like no one gets out of here alive, right? We all know that. But it's you know, I've had a couple of injuries recently, and I've had the same sort of, you know, where you start questioning, you know, but if I stop training, I'm not going to be who I'm supposed to be. And you know, it's hard to be a grown-up man in this world. No one tells you that's the lie. Adults, people think that when your parents tell you about Santa Claus, that's the biggest lie they tell you. The biggest lie they tell you is, don't worry, when you grow up, you'll have it all figured out. It's, you know, nowhere near. So, don't mind me asking, what's the future hold for you?
Well, in general, you mean?
Yeah, just, you know, career-wise, life-wise, anything.
Well, now I'm back in Vegas. So Ricky Lindell and me are good friends, and we've been talking about doing something together as far as gym and training together for about 6 years now. So that was one of my main things for moving back here. So Ricky and I are going to open up a small gym in Vegas. We're also going to work fight camps together. If guys are coming into town and they want to get some training just for a week or two, we'll be able to add that. So you can just get your technical work. I do have a team called the 50 Few. They're at different teams right now because I'm not set up, but I'm sure they're going to come back and we'll start to build it. But I don't want a big fight team. I've done those big teams. They're exhausting. I just love teaching. I love being around motivated guys, and I love learning. I feel like Vegas is the perfect combination for that. And as far as other things, I've got about 4 DVDs out right now, and they're all at BJJ Fanatics. If you go to bjjfanatics.com, you can get all 4 of them. My next one will be out any day now. It's called Filthy Kimuras. And it's just on the wrist lock, the Kimura. I really get into details about the proper grips. I even go through some top wrist lock stuff. And I also do just straight arm cranks and how I work the arm crank. And then after that, my half guard DVD will be out where I have something called the combat half. It's just I do things different. I have my own system when it comes to working the bottom for MMA. And it works in no-gi grappling as well. But it works great when they're punching at you. And it's a thick system, but you'll see some of that half guard system in that DVD. That DVD, my half guard DVD is outstanding. I can't wait for that to come out. The Kimura DVD is great as well. It's very, very good. The owner of BJJ Fanatics is really excited about it. So Filthy Kimura will be out soon. And I don't know if you guys follow me at all, but I call everything filthy. I'm just one of those guys. I'm trying to bring the manhood back to the millennials, you know, like, listen, yeah.
One's got to go.
Yeah. You know, a lot of these guys never heard of Charles Bronson. Like, they don't even know who that is. And like, being a kid, that was the man. You know, it's kind of,
Every time I tell you, I still say to my wife, I'm going to go and get some quarters and put them in a sock. Yeah, that's
yeah.
Like Bruce Willis, I like, right, which is going to seed me into something real. I'm going to pull out a Die Hard line now on you in a moment. Like Bruce Willis, I think was cool, but Bronson was the man. Because it was only when he took, every now and again you just saw what a badass he was under that shirt. You know what I mean? Because he just looked like an ordinary guy, really.
Yeah.
He was legit. He was legit. The line I'm going to use is I'm just looking at your T-shirt there. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Yeah. And if Ranger Up don't send us some free stuff,
they're great.
Then they'll go mad. But I was just about to say, I have two myself. That's the Die Hard line. It's not as good. It's not as good. It's not as good as Hans Gruber, but it's not far off. It's not far off. Neil, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Fun.
Just one more thing. All of your DVDs, is this all down as part of the Ground Marshal brand that you have? You still have that? Is it Ground Marshal?
Yeah, Ground Marshal's it was back a long time ago when I was training Randy. Some magazines did a special on me, and they labeled me that because I was an air marshal. Like now I'm a ground marshal. And I saw it in more magazines, so I was like, no, I'm just going to keep that. I started having fun with it. So, yeah, the Ground Marshal is, it's not really a nickname. No one really calls me that. They call me Marsh at best. But, yeah, it's fun. It's a fun title. I was pretty proud of being an air marshal. I joined that because of 9/11. I was ready to I'm a big patriot. I'm a major patriot. And if I was healthy today, I could see and I wasn't sick, I would still be in the service or work for the government. I would quit all this tomorrow to go serve my country, and that's just how I am. I feel that if you feel a sense of purpose to serve, like your country or whatever it may be, you can always find a reason to get out of bed. And when I lost that, it was very miserable to me. I was really disappointed, but I found a purpose in this sport as a teacher, and that's what keeps me juiced up these days.
I've heard Gordon Peterson out with a great line. Just as you were saying that, he always said, "When you find out a why, you'll always get the how." And that's really.
That's funny. That's one of my favorite quotes. But that was Tesla said that, and yeah. He's in a different way, but that's how I figured things out. Because remember, I learned stuff. People will show me something, but it doesn't mean it worked. I remember the arm triangle baffled me. I had a bunch of people teach it to me. I even went to some great black belts that are very well recognized. And it was just a neck crank. It wasn't choking me really that well. So I had to break it down and think about the anatomy and break the science of it. Once I figured out why it worked and why it failed, I figured out how to do it the most ultimate way possible. And then I broke the choke down into 3 phases. Based on the application of one failure after another, I can stick with the choke. So all that knowledge came to me because I didn't believe the technique, and I kept asking, the whys and figuring out the whys, and then I got the how.
I can't believe that we can wrap up on you quoting Tesla. I already mentioned one of my heroes earlier, Teddy Roosevelt. And, Roosevelt, Michelangelo, Tesla, if you're going to have a hero, get a good one,
Yeah.
Now, the last bit we will finish on this because I'm taking up too much of your time. Any advice to anyone just getting into the grappling arts?
Yeah, I'd say usually when you start learning, you get really opinionated. Try to prevent that. Try to always compare yourself also with the best. And that was something I hated it at the beginning, that like Karo and Gokor and all those guys, they would drill into me because I would be good at something and I would think I feel pretty good at this, and they would snap back and say, no, you're not. You're decent. You're good compared to this room, but not compared to the entire world. And that right there kept me in a constant state of trying to get better. And a lot of guys are just completely satisfied with you know, having fun and going home. But if you're passionate about it, you know, respect your coach, listen to him. But no matter what he says, you need to train with everybody. And if he gets mad that you're training with different coaches, hey, all he should care about is that you're loyal to him and represent him. But all my guys, I send to other gyms. Yeah, go train with this guy. He's really good at this. Show me what he shows you, and maybe we can mess around with it. And they train with other gyms. That's how I learned from them too. I learned a lot from my fighters. So train with everybody. Don't be overly opinionated. And because the more you know, the more you realize there's so many options. There's always another answer. So don't block out those things. Just have fun with it. And the other thing is find a good teacher. It's a big misconception that guys will like, oh, this guy's a world champion black belt. I'm going to go train with him. Well, not necessarily a good idea. Like you'll feel him if he goes live with you, how good his level is, and that will make an imprint on what to achieve. All right, I need to go this guy's speed, this guy's level. But he doesn't mean he knows how to produce anything. It just means he is good. He was produced. And if he's a professional, he's probably focusing a lot on himself. And there's only so much time. Go to a coach that, you know, who cares how good he is. If he's smart and he cares about you and he spends time with you and he's open-minded, that guy's going to take care of you. He's going to look out for you. You guys can do great things together. But most of the time, these coaches, a lot of these guys seek these great fighters to get the tips, but they never really get the details. You know, there are guys out there that can do both. I'm not knocking everybody. I'm just using this as a general statement. I know fighters that are so talented, so good, and then if you sat them down in a room and got them to explain what they do, they couldn't explain to save their lives because they don't really know. They just do it. You know, they're just the talent.
You hit the nail on the head. I know you Brazilians especially, they'll show you something and go, what's that called? And like, I don't know. You just put your leg here and you do this and you go, right. Yeah, but I'm a mere mortal. I can't give it a name first. That'll help me. That'll really help. You know what? Thank you so much for your time and for your words of wisdom. And it was a pleasure, absolute pleasure. Everything I heard was true.
One more time. Everything
that I've heard about you was true.
Oh, Christ!
All in a good way. All in a good way. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
But take care. It's lovely to meet you.
Guys, keep in touch. That was fun.